Hi everyone. So today I'm going to quickly do for you, well hopefully quickly, the mummy tag. I was tagged to do this several weeks ago, but my main channel is a beauty channel and I didn't really want to put stuff about my kids on my beauty channel. So actually this tag kind of inspired me to start a second channel, which is this one, TanishaTalks. So, Aiden. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So this channel is going to be more a place where I can kind of like ramble about my kids and my life for things other than beauty, because there is more to my life than makeup and beauty products. So anyway, side note, that's what I'm doing. Before we get started, I do have someone with me today as I film. This is my youngest, Aiden. And he's probably going to make some noise while I make this video. So sorry about that, but he's cute. So hopefully that'll make up for it. Okay, let's get started. I am currently a stay-at-home mom. I was a working mom in the past. I had a full-time job and my kids were nannied by my mom and everything. I did that whole shebang. But when my husband got a new job and we moved, I obviously quit my job where we lived in BC, and I have not started working again in Alberta. So I am most definitely a stay-at-home mom. I'm gonna have to say no at this point. Being a stay-at-home mom is quite honestly the hardest job that I've ever had in my life. It is extremely, extremely taxing. And when I was working full-time and getting kind of like worn out at my job, Aiden's back, and then coming home to kids who were desperate for my attention because they haven't seen me all day and everything, it was really, really hard. Aiden, shh, mommy filming, you gotta be quiet. Okay. Yeah, it was really, really hard, and like so much stress. The kids were always kind of like whiny and grumpy because our time together was so short. And so anyway, yes, I'm okay with it this way for now. Once they're all in school, which is like another 3 years before they're all in full-time school, I would probably like to work again. Just even if it's just something like for fun to get out of the house. I do not co-sleep. Well, not technically anyway. My kids do sleep with me sometimes, like if they have a bad dream or something at night, they will come into my bed and I'll let them sometimes. But generally, no, I do not co-sleep. From the time my kids were fresh out of the hospital, I always started with them right in their own beds. We did bassinets first and then moved up to cribs because I didn't want to have kids who were dependent on sleeping with me. And I didn't mind getting up in the night and having to leave my room to their room because it was worth it to me in the end because I really value my sleep. Even though I haven't really slept through the night in 6 years, I do value my sleep, and I didn't want a baby in my bed all the time. I don't really have babies anymore, so I can't even really remember what my favorite things for them were. But one thing that I know that I absolutely loved and used for all three of them was my Jolly Jumper. My kids lived in the Jolly Jumper, and it was a lifesaver for me when I needed to cook dinner or get some laundry folded or anything. He's like going in and out, exhausting. Anyway, yeah, it was a lifesaver for me. So I would definitely have to say my Jolly Jumper was a must-have. I have 3 kids and I do not plan on having any more. In fact, we can't have any more. Thank goodness. Date nights are tricky in our house because my husband is a shift worker and we live in a town where we don't know very many people. I do have a babysitter, but I kind of go back and forth between her babysitting my kids and her babysitting her sisters. So honestly, date night happens in our house, if we're lucky, once a month, but honestly it's probably like every 2 months is kind of more realistic. We just do not get a lot of time together, and when we do, my husband's either exhausted because he's just come off like a really long stretch of shift work, or we can't get a babysitter. So it really it depends on the month or the week or the shift, but usually I would have to say, safe to say, at least every 2 months, sometimes every month. It's hard to say. I would have to say across the board with my kids who are ages 3, 4, and 6, Their favorite show is Caillou, which is kind of unfortunate because I hate that show. It is the most irritating show on the planet, but they really do like it. Aiden, who's 3, also really likes Home Alone, which I'm not a huge fan of because they do say ASS. I don't want to say it because he's sitting here in the movie. So it's kind of questionable, but he really does love it. So if I'm having like a bad day and I just need him to like leave me alone for a little while, I do let him watch Home Alone. The one thing that I bought for my kids that I never used was my baby food grinder. I had like the best intentions of using it, but it was kind of the one, or not kind of the one, it was the one that, it's like a mill and you put the food in like this tube thing and then it's got a grinder and you twist it and it grinds all the food up. So you can take it in your purse or your diaper bag to like restaurants and everything, and just, you can literally put everything in it, meat and potatoes and whatever, and then you grind it up and there you have your homemade baby food. So I always wanted to use it, but I just kind of would always forget to put it in my diaper bag, or it was so much hassle. I'd take it to a restaurant and then I wouldn't have anywhere to wash it out after, and I didn't want to put dirty food in my diaper bag. It was just kind of a weird thing. So I never actually did end up using that, but I always really wanted to. My 6-year-old's favorite food is mac and cheese. My 4-year-old's favorite food is cheese noodles. And my 3-year-old's favorite food is cheese-roni. And all of that in English is Kraft Dinner. We have 2, a minivan and a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is currently sitting in my driveway with a flat tire and no heat in the middle of winter. So really, we only have 1 vehicle. I kind of think this is an inappropriate question to ask any woman on the planet, but especially women who have had babies. I don't know, I just don't think many people like talking about their weight. I'll answer it kind of, but I'm not going to tell you everything about my weight because I just don't really think that it's any of your business. Is that rude? Okay, so what does it say? Weight gain before pregnancy. I couldn't even tell you how much I weighed before pregnancy. I know that it is more than I weigh now, and less than I weighed when I was pregnant. How's that for an answer? During and after. I can't remember how much I weighed during my pregnancies, but I do remember how much I gained. So with my first baby, I gained 18 pounds. My second baby, I gained 23 pounds. I believe it was 23. And with my last baby, again, it was like 20 pounds. I never went over my second, which was 23 pounds. It's the most I ever gained. I was extremely sick throughout my pregnancies, all 9 months. So I literally lived on raspberry sherbet and lemon water. That was like all I ate for 9 months. I don't know how my kids were born healthy because that was not good nutrition to give them, but I could not hold anything else down. So yeah, and my weight right now, okay, so question number 12. I would have to say that my dream vacation with my kids right now would either be Disneyland or a Disney cruise. I think both would be really, really fun, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Disney cruise because they do have childcare there. So if we wanted to drop our kids off for a few hours and go do something without kids, we would still have that option, which I know is not really the point of vacation with your kids, but I don't know, I just like the option of having the opportunity to drop them off. My husband and I both really, really want to travel Europe. We would like to go to Israel. I would like to go to Jamaica. I would pretty much like to go anywhere that is not where I am right now, which is in the middle of winter, in the flippin' cold, minus whatevers. I'm just sick of winter. So pretty much, to me, anywhere that has sunshine and like grass would be a dream vacation. But overall, yeah, Europe, Israel, Jamaica, those are kind of our 3 tops right now. I don't think there really are any words to describe how your life changes once you have kids. Having 1 kid, bad enough. Having 3, it's changed a lot in every single way. The main thing though that I really notice day in and day out is just that the ability to get up and go whenever you want is no longer an option. Like, you have to consider so many things now before you can just get up and leave your house. Date nights with my husband very frequently happen. Girls' night out very frequently happen. Or frequently. Very frequently. That's not the right word. Infrequently. That's the right word. I don't know what I'm thinking. They infrequently happen, I think. I'm so confused now. Let me just rephrase that whole thing. They don't happen ever. Very rarely do they happen. There we go. And it's because you constantly have to consider your kids. You have to get a babysitter or just whatever, right? You have to always consider them. And getting up to go somewhere quick, like, oh, I gotta quickly run to the store. Yeah, there's no such thing as quick in my house anymore. It's like getting 3 kids dressed, getting them fed so that I can take them to the grocery store and them not cry the whole time that they're hungry, getting their boots and coats on, getting them into the car, getting them strapped into the car. I mean, all of that in itself is gonna take me an hour and a half. So great planning has to go into every single thing that I do, whether it's going to the grocery store, running to the bank, or something big like going to church or to someone's house. That is the biggest change, is just how much time it takes to do things, and my ability to do things quickly and freely is no longer. It melts my heart to see my kids sleeping. I love to watch my kids sleeping, and I really truly am being honest right now. I really think that God created sleep so that parents would remember the good things about our kids, because sometimes throughout the day, and I know that I'm not the only parent who thinks this, so don't even try to pretend that like you've never thought this, because I know you have. If you are a parent, you have thought this. Throughout the day, it's so easy just to kind of lose sight of why you had kids to begin with. When your kids are being crazy, they're not listening, you're disciplining and yelling all day, and it's like nothing can go right. It's like you just want to rip your hair out and drive your car off a bridge, and then your kids fall asleep. And you see their sweet faces like angels, so peaceful, and you just want to climb into their beds and cuddle them and curl up with them. And they literally, in that moment, melt your heart. And that, for me, gives me everything that I need to get through the next day when it starts all over again. Again, I've already said being a parent, hard job. And yeah, so it melts my heart to see my children sleep. I mean, there's other things they do too. When they just randomly come up and say, I love you, mommy, or when they're being really sweet to their younger brother, or like, there's lots of things, but sleeping definitely takes the cake. For clothes, typically I buy them things at Oshkosh. My mom and dad have a place in Vegas, and they spend a lot of time there, and conveniently for me, there is an Oshkosh outlet, and my mom stocks me up pretty good every year. So that is my #1 place to shop for the kids. But I also shop for them at Zellers and Walmart and Old Navy and the thrift store. Really, wherever. I have no favorite place to shop for my kids. I'm not even answering this question because it's going to take too much time, and it has absolutely nothing to do with being a mom. If you do want to know my favorite makeup and skincare products though, go check out my beauty channel, which is Real Canadian Beauty, and I will tell you all about it over there. I have no idea what Huggies diaper jeans are. I haven't had kids in diapers for a while, and when I did have them in diapers, I used Pampers. So I'm assuming that these are diapers that look like jeans. So my first thought would be waste of money because no one's gonna see them. But I don't know, because I don't know what they are. Sorry. As far as I can remember, yes, I always wanted kids. I wasn't the little girl who kind of dreamed about the fairy tale wedding and being a princess in a castle and, you know, having a million kids. And like, I was never like, I wasn't domesticated as a little girl. I was a tomboy. I hung out with all boys growing up. My best friends were boys. Like, I just didn't do girly things. And I never dreamt about what my future would be like when I became a woman. So I think that I've always wanted kids, I'm sure, because as soon as I got married, that was like an instant desire of mine. And we waited 4 years after getting married to finally have kids. But from the time I was engaged, at least anyway, I knew I always wanted kids. Does that count? There are so many great parts about being a mom, but I think for me the best part is just the unconditional love that you receive from your kids. It really never ceases to amaze me how much love they have to give me. And it's like, it's little things like I'll discipline them. Oh, hiccups, excuse me. I'll discipline them, and like they'll do something bad and they'll get spanked or something, and the second I spank them, they will want a hug from me. Or, you know, I can yell at them, and as soon as I'm done yelling at them, they're like, I love you, mommy, and they just want to hug me. It's like, no matter what I do or say or whatever, they just have so much unconditional love. They don't hold grudges against me. Like, they're just so innocent and sweet, and I think that's the greatest part, is just seeing these little lives that are not yet corrupted by, like, the world, and they just have so much to give. They're not jaded in any way. They love everything. Everything's new and exciting to them, and it's kind of like being a kid, because you get to experience that through them again. Because I don't remember what it was like, you know, to taste peanut butter for the first time, or, you know, see snow for the first time, or build my first snowman, or anything like this. I don't remember what that felt like. So when I get to see them do things for the first time and whatever, it's like so rewarding for me, because it kind of, you get to live through them and you go, oh, that must have been what it felt like for me. And anyway, it's just kind of neat. So yeah, that would be my favorite part.
I too.
Okay, so that's it for us. This was kind of a fun tag to do. I hope you enjoyed it. And oh, we're all coming in now. We'll see you soon. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye.